Hi guys, Andy here again from MadLadDesigns with more of the Wrath of Ashardalon playthrough. But first, we have one correction to make, well, more of an oversight, and one clarification of something which I'll come to obviously in a minute. But first of all, the correction. Now, last episode, Quinn battled with the Grell and managed to land a hit on it with his Sacred Flame. Now, the Sacred Flame says when you hit a monster, anybody on the same tile as Quinn can receive a hit point. And I gave that hit point back to Keyleth, which was all fine. That's correct, not a problem with that. But what I did forget was Quinn's Saving Grace ability. And when you or any hero on your tile regains one hit point, that hero can also end one condition. As Kaylith regained a hit point, that means she can remove a condition. So the poison is now taken off. A big thanks to Andrew Bremer for pointing that out for me. I would have completely missed that, as usual. Thanks, Andy. So that's the first correction done. So now we move on to the clarification. Now we have this environment card called High Alert, which states at the end of each villain phase, the active hero passes one monster card to the player on the right. And when Quinn completed his villain phase, I did pass a monster, but I passed the monster to Keyleth, who's on the left. And I've had a viewer ask, well, how come I've passed a monster to the left when the environment card quite clearly states pass it to the right? Well, I assure you I do know my left from my right, and it's all to do with how the players would be seated around the table. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little diagram, and I apologise for the crudeness of this scribbled diagram, but hopefully it will state and show why I'm passing monster cards to the left when this environment card says I should pass them to the right. Okay, I've taken the camera off the tripod just to start clarifying something. The table I have that I'm using to play on is blocked off on three sides. Okay, across there, across the back, and down here. So I only have the front of the table to play, as you can see there. So that's all I have. So I can't place characters round the table, and I can't run round the table and play those characters. All the characters I'm playing in a line along the table, so because I can't place them round. But I'm going to put this back on the tripod now, and I'm going to show you this diagram. Like I said, I apologise for the crudeness of the drawing, but hopefully you should understand from this drawing. Now, if the characters were seated round the table, this is how they would be seated. So Vistra would be on one side. Here's the table. So we've got Vistra on one side. Then going around the table to the left, we'd have Keyleth. And then going again to the left, we'd have Quinn. And again to the left, we'd have Heskin. So basically we're going clockwise all the way around. If we look at how they are set up on the table, then to the right of Quinn is Heskin. But if we look at it back on the plan, the little drawing I did, here we now have Quinn. And if we look to the right of Quinn, we have Keyleth. Can you see that? So even though on the table to the right of Quinn is Heskin, if we were going to go around the table and they were placed on the table, then to the right of Quinn is Keyleth. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You've got to try and picture them around the table. So when the environment card states pass the card to the right, what it's really saying is pass the card to the previous player, to the player who went before this player. So Quinn had the monster, so the previous player to Quinn would have been Keyleth. So even though Keyleth is to the left on the table, Keyleth was the previous player before Quinn. So the monster gets passed to the previous player around the table. So I hope that makes sense. So that's something you've got to keep in mind if you're playing multiple characters yourself, but you've got them all lined up. You've got to imagine it as though they were around a table. So hopefully, yeah, like I said, I hope that clears things up. So now we can continue with turn 7, part 1. With Vistra still stuck in this cage. Okay, the first thing Vistra's going to do is try and get this cage off her. So she needs to roll a 10 or more. Let's have a look. Yes! Hey! So we are removing this cage. This cage now goes away. Thank you very much. Now the next thing I'm going to do, because she's starting on the volcanic vapours, she is poisoned. Okay, so poison token will be placed on her. But she has a potion of recovery. End one condition on your hero or any adjacent hero, and this can be used at any time. So she's going to use this. I'm going to discard it. That's gone now. So now this poison token comes off. That was short and sweet. So now she's going to move. And she can move a speed of 5. But she does have the crossbow of speed and the throwing shield. Oh no, she can't use her crossbow of shield because she's already used the attack part to get rid of the cage. Right, I'm just thinking out loud here. Right, so she's got rid of the cage, so she can't attack. So she can't use the crossbow of speed because that's attacking. But she can use the throwing shield because that doesn't count as an attack. So does she attack the cave bear and get that out of the way, or will she move and try and attack one of these two, the Duergar or the Grell? Cave bear or them two? Let me have a think about that for a second. Okay, I think she is going to move first. And she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she's going to use her throwing shield against the Grell. So the throwing shield I can use within 2 tiles. So let's take a look. Are we within 2 tiles? 1, 2, we certainly are. So we're going to attack with the throwing shield of +6. Here we go with a +6. So that's a 10. So 10 plus 6 is 16. The Grell's armor class is 15. So the Grell has been destroyed. Goodbye. I'm going to take that. And we get a treasure card. And it is Ring of Shooting Stars. A Attack one monster within 2 tiles of you. This attack does not count as an attack action. Flip this card over after you have used the item. Ooh, who shall I give that to? I think I'll give it to Keyleth. She can have something else. There you go, Keyleth. Right. As we have not revealed a tile, we need an encounter card, which is bad luck. You are cursed. Place this card on your hero card as a reminder. At the start of your villain phase, draw 1 additional encounter card. Ooh. Should I cancel this? No, I'm not going to cancel this. It just means my next turn round I draw 2 encounter cards at the start of my villain phase. Right, okay, I'll put that there. I'll put it on my card. The Grell goes into the experience pile. Now we need to activate any monsters that Vistra controls, and she controls the Cave Bear, which just moves 1 closer, the Dewy Gargard, which moves 1 closer, but also we need to activate this Dewy Gargard, and it attacks the closest hero if it's adjacent to a hero with the Warhammer +8. Now he's adjacent to 3 heroes. Who do we pick? Who's got the most hit points? Who can take it? Kayleth's got 3 hit points. Quinn has 2 hit points. Heskin has 4 hit points. And if you remember, Heskin has the mirror image tokens, so his armor class goes up to 21. Excellent. So I think we're going to attack Heskin. So we roll with a +8. Here we go. Ooh. Now that's a 24. 16 and 8 is 24. Heskin's armor class is 21. So it's a definite hit on Heskin, who removes 1 hit point. And the mirror image card says, whenever a monster misses an attack, I remove 1 image token. Well, the Dewy Gargard hit, so that means the tokens stay on. They're only taken off when a monster misses. Vistra's turn is almost at an end. There's only one thing left she has to do, and that is pass a monster to the right. Now, can you remember the diagram? I'll just grab that diagram. So there's Vistra. So we need to pass a monster to the right. So obviously to the right is Heskin. But on the table to the right of Vistra is Keyleth. So remember that. If you get confused while you're playing the game, just draw yourself a little diagram like this. That helps a lot. So we need to pass a monster to Heskin. And I think we will pass the Cave Bear over to Heskin. So Heskin now controls the Cave Bear. I think that is Vistra's turn over with. We've managed to get the cage off her after God knows how many turns we've been trying. Now she's on her way now to help her companions. Vistra's turn is over, hopefully, fingers crossed. So now we will move on to Keyleth's turn. So Keyleth is going to have a go at killing off this Dewy Gargard, and she's going to use a Valiant Strike. When making this attack, you get +1 to attack bonus for each monster adjacent to you. So it starts off with a +8, and because she's adjacent to a monster, one monster, she gets an extra bonus. So that's now a +9. So we're going to get a +9 to our roll. So let's see what we get. That's a 9. So 9 + 9 is 18. The Dewey Gargard is only 16, so it's now destroyed. But here we go. If we look, Keyleth does not control any Dewey Gargards. Vistra does, and so does Quinn. So who do we remove it off? Well, a couple of episodes ago I explained how this worked. You start with your own hero. If you don't have the monster that you killed in your pile of that hero, you move to the next hero, which just happens to be Quinn in this case. So the Dewey Gargard from Quinn has now been destroyed. It goes into our experience pile. The Dewey Gargard has now gone. Excellent. And she can actually move. Hey, we can reveal another tile. Getting that extra step closer to the mysterious chamber. Let's see what we get. Dun, 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 dun. Hey! Hey, about time. Oh, fantastic. Right. Oh. We're at the chamber. Okay, I'm going to shuffle things about a bit and read what it says when we get to that chamber. So I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, I've shuffled some things around a bit. You'll notice I've removed some of the dungeon tiles up here that was going this way because I didn't have enough space on the table, and we don't need to be back up that way anymore. So I've made enough space for the chambers. That's going to go all here. So let's take a look at what the adventure book says when revealing the chamber tile. After travelling through winding passages and fighting unspeakable monsters, you finally find the entrance to a mysterious chamber. Draw and place the tiles labelled Dire Chamber next to each unexplored edge of the Dire Chamber entrance tile. These tiles form the mysterious chamber. Draw the top card from the chamber deck, which we've already done, to determine the contents of the mysterious chamber and the goal for this adventure. Follow the instructions on the chamber card to fill the mysterious chamber. The heroes win the adventure by accomplishing the goal specified on the chamber card that was drawn. The heroes lose this adventure if any hero has no hit points at the start of his or her turn, and therefore there are no healing surge tokens remaining. Right. Okay, let's start filling out our mysterious chamber. First, here we go. There we go. Next we need to add a tile, one here, one here, one here, to each unexplored edge. And I've got the tiles there and the chamber card already. So let's see what we get. Dire chamber. So we'll start from here and we'll work our way around. So next tile will go here, next tile will go there. Let's have a look at our next tile. A dire chamber. Goes there. Next one, dire chamber. Goes there. Right. Quinn should have moved. Keyleth should have moved to the entrance. Right, to reveal the chamber. So that is now our dire chamber. So, what is in our chamber? We shall take a look.
What unspeakable horror awaits our heroes in the mysterious chamber. Will our heroes survive their final battle? Or will Auntie ever get through an episode without making a mistake? Tune in next week for more Wrath of Ashardalon.